according to, which is part of the measure.
Yeah.
That's for the 33% government.
Funding.
Yeah. Yes. So we felt that that could be a con.
Yeah. We also need to look at the financial.
Yes. Government, just government as a shareholder.
Yeah.
It could be through a pension fund. They tend to do this.
But now we don't have more information about this.
Especially the emerging markets. I'm just making an assumption that they tend to invest through pension funds like unemployment insurance pension fund or government employee pension fund and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we need to look at the financials, right?
Yes, other cons is the market cycles as well.
Yeah.
And a dip in 2008 throughout the world did happen, so that was true.
Other con that we also discussed was that by virtue of them now being the largest in India, they will be open up to all sorts of anti-competitive regulators or regulation. So they will be a monopoly in essence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they were talking about the share value or the price that they wanted to pay for it, right?
That was just the background into the whole story.
More the bigger picture.
Yes, now we get to the numbers.
The other background too is that it said that this is the fastest growing sector in India is energy.
Yes.
And so that the aggregation of these two companies together, the merger, would make them a leader due to efficiency, reducing labor costs, streamlining distribution, and then also being able to become the powerhouse in their market and be able to negotiate contracts internationally for their commodities and products.
Now, I'm trying to think, the Royal, the big,
they had Ernst & Young.
The bank, like the Federal Reserve equivalent in India, it's called RBI, Royal Bank of India, or the Registered Bank of India.
Might be Royal. I think it's Royal.
Royal Bank of India. They're the ones that dictate when interest rates go up, like the Federal Reserve in the United States, and for some of the financing that we've had in the past, they're extremely conservative. And the real thing is they've blocked some of the deals. I don't know this for a fact, but they blocked some of the deals because somebody in the banking system or at the very government level wanted money. I don't know that for a fact, but that's it. So, but you're not dealing with them, right?
We haven't seen anything
not in this case.
There's no
But we're
information
just saying
on
by
that.
virtue of the size of the measure.
Okay, but this is the deal that's going to be bought in South Africa, right?
No.
That's in India.
That's in India.
That's the case study.
This acquisition candidate's in India.
Yes.
Okay. And so how did you find it?
No, I think I was the one that brought that.
Oh, you're the one. Okay. I got you. Okay.
But that was just a case study from
Okay,
that I found on
I
this.
understand. Okay.
Yes.
And is that you that prints so neatly?
That was him. Mine's there. It's pretty bad.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So where do we stand now?
So now we're going to go back to the financials and look at the numbers. The trends of the income, the EBITDA, the revenue,
They're all going up
income, and
anyway.
the net profits are all trending up except for EBITDA in 2008 because of the dip. But other than that, everything looks really good, trending upward. And we're going to see if the price that they bid
Yeah, there was a price we might need to go back and see what.
it was 231 rupees per share.
Yeah.
For the as a
It
second.
was 1 to 5 at some point as well.
Yes.
And there's a stock swap, so it was 5 shares per.
My problem with that one was, so what we're saying is in 2002 they bought 20%, so then everything went quite well since then, but now they got another 26%, so I don't know if coming closer to half of the thing would have a potential negative effect, as you said, because they might be bigger and they might come up with some of the regulations that we might need to look into, I guess, as a due diligence, right?
Well, the thing that happened though, but from 20, they were under. This is rupees, but at 26, they were at 89,124 rupees, to whatever exponential number that is. But then after 2006 to 2013, they basically tripled their top line revenue, almost quadrupled their top. So obviously they're.
In what area in energy are these guys involved?
Okay, let me contextualize it for you so you can understand. Okay. The group is an energy group called RIL. It's called Exploration, Gas Exploration, and Oil Exploration Business.
Is that onshore India or around the world?
Around the world.
Okay.
Right. Now, it also has got a refinery business, which is a subsidiary. It had a petrochemical subsidiary as well, which is where the merger is happening as a means of growing this petrochemical business in India.
Okay.
It has a marketing arm and a textile business. So it's basically where they're trying to do the horizontal integration is right here. Merger. I mean.
Okay, now do they use the byproducts of the petrochemical and refining in the textile business?
Exactly.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Now the deal that we're talking about is right here. Okay. Yes. It's their subsidiary, petrochemical subsidiary, merging with an Indian-based subsidiary.
Okay, so the numbers that you've given me are for the petrochemical.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, size, scale, 2%. And so now you're going to go into the finances to find out the top line, what debt they have.
Yes.
And the ratios, I guess.
Okay.
What are the main things we should be looking at though? What's the
Well, I mean, okay. In any third world country, and even though people say India's not a third world country, it is a third world country. The government, okay, who is in power? Do they just get elected, or are they at the end of their cycle?
Yes.
In other words, can they? In some countries, you can't get reelected. They have one-term limits. Are these guys one-term limits? Are these guys were they the conservative or were they the liberal or whatever they call it?
Yeah.
That's one thing. Who was the champion? Is there a champion in government at this time for energy? Because a lot of times a guy will take over as prime minister, and he'll be the champion for healthcare. He'll be the champion for energy, etc. So they if this is in the cycle of the government, what did they say they were going to get done as opposed to what they actually got done? So in other words, is it just rhetoric to get elected, or are they actually getting stuff done?
Yes.
Are they getting stuff done? And as you well know, you should know, most governments, politicians just flap their mouth to get elected. They're not necessarily going to enact things. The trends in petrochemical, not just the trends for this company, which seem to be up, except in 2008, but the trends overall.
The trends in the industry, it says, were up 11% from 2010 to 2011.
Okay, but now is that in India or worldwide?
In India, specific.
Okay, well, is India bucking the worldwide trend? Okay, because you can't buck the worldwide trend. You can buck it a year or 2 years, but you can't buck it forever. So, are they bucking the petrochemical?
So what is their,
or is it just in a worldwide expansion?
So what is their trend in context of the global trend?
Correct. Yes, correct. Who else has made, if at all, has made investments in petrochemical in India? As the Russian government, the Chinese government, the U.S. government, the Siemens, Ford, whoever the hell, who are some of the big players. Now let's just say Siemens isn't in this business, but anyway, let's just say they were. I guarantee you there is a study 65 million pages long.
Yes,
surely.
And whereas you don't have to read the study, but read the summary of the study. And the summary of the studies will be on Google. Did E&Y do a study on petrochemical? I already know they did. Did KPMG, did PwC, did Deloitte do a study on petrochemicals in India? First worldwide, then in India. And there will be charts, and I mean, you go crazy. You go crazy. The banks, the World Bank, this is a World Bank deal. So you got to be able to get the money from the World Bank. The World Bank will have done a study. International Monetary Fund will have done a study. Now, all you got to do is read the summaries of these studies, and if 90% of them say the same thing, then you go, okay. But if it's 50-50, half of them say it's going in the shitter, and half of them say it's not, okay, then you've got to, depending on, then you have to assign some risk to that. But I mean, normally, these guys that do the studies are like sheep. So they'll pretty much all say the same. How many jobs does petrochemical produce in India for the whole country? Okay. How many jobs do these guys?
They have 25,000 employees approximately.
Okay, and how many is that? 25 of 2.5 million, or is that 25 of 75? Okay.
Yeah.
And if it's a big percentage of the employees in that industry for India, then they have government clout.
Yeah.
That means you can push some government button, and you can get some non-recourse money, non-recourse minority money.
So when you're looking at the financials,
That as well.
when you're looking at the financials from a company in a different country, how do you go on the authenticity of those financials? Because it said that the company that did these financials were not Big Four.
Yeah, but who are they?
No, these were prepared by PwC.
Yeah,
And Ernst & Young.
the report was prepared by PwC, but the financials were actually the report was taken from the numbers of the financial.
Well, PwC did the report. They verified the numbers.
Okay.
Yes.
They're not going to just accept willy-nilly
Yes.
Schwartz and Company's numbers. So they will.
They're going to do their own fact.
Correct. So when you see Deloitte, KPMG, PwC, E&Y on the stationery,
Yes.
you can pretty much, although they do make mistakes, they make a lot less mistakes than anybody else.
Yes. By the look of things, it's a consolidated report by the two accounting firms, EY and PwC. Maybe one had one accounting firm between the two, and so they
Yeah, but if they publish it under a joint name, then they both put a lot of work into it, because if E&Y made a mistake and PwC based their findings on E&Y numbers, they're not going to do that. They're all going to do their own research, their own homework.
Okay.
On the financials we've got now, so what are the main things you would consider looking at for the financials we have on the company?
Well, how much debt do they have? Okay. Well, what's their positive cash flow, their free cash flow, meaning their EBITDA? Are they currently producing enough cash flow to cover their debt service? And you'd be surprised. You look at some of these big deals, and a statistic just came out last month that 60%, almost 60% of the companies that went public in the United States in the first 9 months of the year didn't make money.
Yep.
Did not make money.
Yep.
So it wouldn't surprise me. And it's easier when you're dealing in the hundreds of millions and the billions. It's easy to smudge shit around. Okay, so and if it's not producing enough cash flow to cover debt service, this company is probably broken down in divisions. Which divisions are making money? Which divisions are not making money? Is management going to, now this is a merger or a sale? What is this?
This is a merger.
Okay. Who's going to be the survivor? Really important. Okay, we merge A and B together.
Yes.
Okay, you're not going to need all A and B employees.
Yes.
There's going to be economies of scale.
How does that affect when
Well, in effect, let's say that one half of the merger was really good, super profitable, 300%, blah, blah, and the other one was 5%.
Yes.
Okay, so if it's that kind of merger would be a merger of equals. Okay, therefore the one that produced most of the money is going to keep most of the employees. Okay, but if it's a merger of equals, in other words, equals meaning roughly speaking 55% comes from both sides, then who's been the most successful CEO or head of that company? Okay, did he take it from 5 million to 500 million, and the other guy take it from 300 million to 350? And so you're going to want the guy, the charger, the stallion, to be the head. And normally they split it up. They make one guy chairman and one guy CEO. The CEO is the driving force.
What is the story of this joint CEO-ship that Terence put up?
Well, I mean, because there really is a merger of equals. Both companies, plus or minus 5%, have grown at the same rates, produced the same top line, the same bottom line. And then normally, when they make joint CEOs, one guy is perhaps older and he's only going to be there a couple of years, and then he's going to retire. And then and of course that's not part of the agreement. And then the young guy will assume the helm as full-time CEO. You have the difference in tax brackets, or I'm not familiar if India has changed their taxing system like the U.S. has just recently, but go check to see, as part of the hockey stick, growth been because they changed tax, and have they gotten special dispensation or special compensation, because sometimes the government say, we're going to give $5 billion to, like Obama did to green energy in America. And would they have gotten that money if it wasn't for some administrative luck, really? Because Elon Musk and many of the alternative energy would have survived without President Obama's special dispensation.
Yeah.
Okay. The litigation. What's the law? What kind of litigation are they involved in, if any? And past litigation, did they win or did they lose?